Thank you once again for joining us on this exciting and informative program. What is it that we are talking about today? Today we are going political on Sly Media TV and any other social media platforms. All what you have to do is like or follow that. If it's on YouTube, subscribe. Also follow us on Twitter so that every time we go live, you never miss some of these exciting and informative program. My name is Robert Tafumane. What is it that we are talking about? We are talking about the opposition movement for democratic change. Movement for Democratic Change, Tsvangirai MDCT, or Movement for Democratic Change Alliance, MDCA, whatever you want to call it. What is happening in that opposition political party? A lot is happening. We have heard some of it. We may have missed some of it. What is it that we have done? We have invited a person that we think he may have an insight of what is happening in that political party. The reason is because he has also taken the party president and some members to the High Court. Why? Let's find out from him. Mr. Marara, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Mkoma Robert.
Thank you very much for giving us this time. Kuti timboti mwinyi zviri kuitika mubato renyu MDCT.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Vakawanda vanoti we have known Mr. Marara is a member of MDC. Probably they would say a dedicated member of the party.
Very correct.
And we also know by the end of last year, you said, no, I also want to contest as a party president. But things did not go as what we have heard. Just to start with, what was the motivation factor to say, inini oka ndakuda kunogara pakagara Douglas togara sei Mwonzora?
All right, thank you. What happened is that from the time we got the Supreme Court judgment, which brought the party into, say, existence, as you may want to call it, where we broke away with our S12 brothers in the now CCCC, is that we chose the path that we thought was the correct path of following the rule of law, of respecting our own written constitutions, our own Bible, like the one that I'm holding here with me here, this Holy Bible for the MDC. This is the MDC Constitution. I was inclined to follow the team that was saying they respect this book, the Constitution, because if you may allow me, Advocate Chamisa had lost a High Court case where he was sued by a party member for having self-appointed himself president soon after the death of our founding father, President Tsvangirai. So when he was taken to the High Court and lost, it was Advocate Chamisa who took the matter to the Supreme Court to say, I don't agree with the judgment of the High Court, and the Supreme Court threw out his appeal. And then when he refused to obey the judgment of the Supreme Court, I said, no, I'm not a lawless person. I want to follow the team that believes in the Constitution. So this is why we went for the Extraordinary Congress, which elected Senator Monzura as president. I was very instrumental, the world knows. Yes. It was because I believe in the rule of law. So come fast forward to December 2020, or November 2022 rather, you have Senator Monzora following exactly what Advocate Chamisa did in 2018. He is now saying, I've been chosen by the National Council as the party president. This is the reason why we broke away with our brothers, because we all agreed that that was not the correct position. The High Court rejected it. The Supreme Court rejected that position. So for Senator Monzora to now say the National Council can choose a party president through whatever means, for me, that was a big problem. And that was the beginning of where we are today. But if you take it back, when Senator Monzora won, we had won as a team, which was called the Donkeys, We were doing our things together. We would sit down, come up with a position. Then the president would make a final determination on the direction that we take, but generally, majority of that position is an agreed or a shared position where we will have contributed as a team. But the moment he became president, he started making individual decisions, which were now contrary to the agreed position of the team. And this is where the problems started. He started operating as a single person, not as a team. So this is what has brought us to where we are. And for me personally, I had indicated to him that I wanted to run as a member of parliament for Harare Central, but the gentleman didn't want. So because I could not be stopped, I was just unstoppable. The other people who wanted to run for Harare Central, they paved way. They gave me the green light, and I became a unanimous candidate. But that was against the position of the party president. He didn't want me to run. He had left me out of his standing committee. He had given me a portfolio secretary position in the national executive, which was just a position to warm the bench. It was a useless position which didn't do anything. Therefore, I realized that I was not wanted. I indicated to him that I wanted to be treasurer. In fact, when he won as president, the arrangement within the team or within the camp was that I was going to be his treasurer general and support his vision as president. But I saw Dr. Mashakada from the Blue was appointed ahead of me. I asked the president, and he gave his own reasons, which I found at that time to be very flimsy, but nonetheless I accepted them. And I said, I want to work in the portfolio that you have appointed me, but no single cent was put in the portfolio, in the department, so that we could work, because my position was basically fundraising as a business person. So when there is no funding that is being channeled in the department after having received four government grants with so much huge amounts of money, you know, I was bound to fail in the department because we were not funded at all. In fact, at some stage, I discovered that some of the allocated funds to the department had been withdrawn by the president himself. So there was no intention to capacitate the department so that the party could fundraise. And so that was the other reason. And when there was an outcry in the party that funds were being misused.
Before we go to the misuse of the funds, I just want to find out, you know, the media would describe Marara as Mwonzora's close eye.
Yes.
Yes, very
correct.
You know, then you were doing the donkey work.
Yes.
The foot soldier.
Yes.
The president, your candidate, is one, is now, you know,
the party president.
Party president.
Correct.
Where do you think you closed each other's line? Because you've done everything, the person is one, but every step he's taking is not in your favorable position. You know, you're just being sidelined on every position. Why did you pick something that says no?
Yes, very correct. I identified that when I was not appointed the Treasurer General. I'm not saying this out of any ill feeling. I, by the way, get very busy. So when I was left out, even in the standing committee, in the finance to be the finance chief, I took it. I accepted his wisdom at the time, which turned out to be lack of wisdom, because then the clear thing that came to my mind was that the man was determined to keep me out of anything influential. Because the standing committee, for example, is the organ of the party that make very key and important decisions of the party. So if you are considered to be one of the kingpins or the key figures in any administration, and you are left out of an organ that makes important and key decisions, then it means you are a nobody. You are not wanted in that institution. The next thing was, when it was time to go for by-elections, I made my intentions very clear to say I want to run for Parliament under Harare Central. And the gentleman said, no, I would appoint you for Senate and this, but it was all, I realized it was a way of trying to shut me out, to keep me out of key influential positions, taking me out, a failure to appoint me as the finance chief, because the finance is very key in terms of the running of the organization. So I was left out, and I realized that I was only wanted to when it's time to throw stones, but when it's time to make key serious decisions, you are not wanted. And I attribute this to the idea that there are certain leaders in our societies who do not want people who ask tough questions, people who question certain decisions. Especially in politics, you have leaders who want yes men and women, who don't want to be asked the questions. If they make any decision, the people will just say yes, yes, say. I'm not one kind of person that will just let things pass without questioning, because this is a shared responsibility. If things go wrong, it's the team that has to be answerable.
Yeah, I just want also to take you back to the first Congress, soon after the Supreme Court judgment. Yeah, Congress. It was chaotic. Yes. There was violence. You know, I was there. Yes. Journalists were even harassed to an extent because of what was happening. Yes. And probably to summarize it, it was an arranged Congress where Mwonzora had to win at all costs. We saw Muzuri, Komichi and Kupe also not agreeing with the outcome. Yes. You were key, as you've said, in pushing Mwonzora to win. Yes. Now that you are sitting there, what did you do, which you know it was wrong for Mwonzora to win the election at all costs, using all necessary available resources for Mwonzora to take over power of the party?
I don't think, thank you, Mkoma Robert. I think this is a misconception. What happened at that time was we had the acting President Kupe, who was now dragging her feet to conduct the Congress, because I think my own conclusion was that she was afraid of losing. Yes, she was the incumbent. She was running the show. She was actually asked in the morning by Blessed Mhlanga of Heart and Soul TV. I was just next to her. And she was very happy with all the preparations to the event. But in less than an hour, she was trying to stop the Congress. She was no longer a president. She was now a candidate.
Yeah, but what had she seen that made her to say, no, this is not an elective Congress?
I don't know what she had seen, but what I saw was a president, a sitting president, who was in a contest which she saw she was losing, and she tried to stop it.
But Marara, yes. How did, because it was not about counting, the voting was still going on. Yes. You as a party member, what is it that you think she picked out and said, no, this is not what is supposed to take place?
You remember, thank you, the voting was being done as per province. Yes, yes. So we started with Bulawayo. She determined which province had to start. Okay. So we started with Bulawayo, we went to Mat North, and they started the noise. Honorable Lwazi, Honorable Gifty Banda, and some other youths from Bulawayo, we had come. They started the noise. They were making declarations to say things must go this way, and we were calm enough to say we cannot allow this. But what the people, even the delegates, refused to happen was to have the process stopped, because Bulawayo voted, and we said it's okay, let it get in. Then there was the Mat North, it was okay. Then she wanted Mat South to come in all the Bulawayo provinces, and we said no. Let's now have the Manicaland. Manicaland was our winning province. This is the province that brought over 400 delegates. I was the head of the logistics. I arranged the transportation. They gave us 4 Zupco buses. I had sourced another 5 buses. I gave Manicaland another 4 buses. So I had 8 buses ferrying all delegates from Manicaland. So Manicaland was a full house. So when Manicaland was allowed to move in now, you could see, and the people in the terraces, in the gallery, were able to see, because the ballot paper had been decided, it was a very big piece of paper. And you could see the number one was Madame Coupe, the last one was Mwonzora. So people could see who has been voted for from the gallery. So when someone comes in a jovial mood, this is Manicaland, the home province of Monzura, and you could see someone putting his or her ex on Monzura, people would celebrate. And we were sitting by the up there, and we could also see where the people were casting their vote. So the other candidates saw that they were losing, they had actually lost it based on the voting pattern from Manicaland.
So it's, Marara, it's clear that more delegates, from what you said, that 8 buses came from Manicaland.
Yes.
How many buses were from Blawa and Mat North and South?
They arranged the Zupco buses. We were actually not aware how many other buses. So you see, the Zupco, if you remember the Zupco issue, that was the Senator Komich and Madame Coupe. We had planned to transport their own delegates in friendly provinces. So we had our own, we knew Manicaland was our province.
But is it a question of how many people should come from a certain province, or the people that are supposed to vote?
It was, for Manicaland, it was, because remember when there was a split with Honorable Chamisa, the president of the CCC, he fired the whole province. So the whole structure in Manicaland was intact. It remained with the MDC. In other provinces, the structure had gone with the CCC. Okay. So Harare and Harare Chitungwiza and the Manicaland were the strongest provinces that remained, that were the most delegates. So it was a question of arranging counter-transport for our own delegates, which the other candidates didn't want to bring in. So if you say the 2020 EOC was stolen by Mwonzora, I tend to disagree. Yes, I tend to disagree, because the other candidates, when they realized that the game was not going their way, they walked away. Then voting was allowed to proceed peacefully, and then they came back to try and steal the ballot boxes, and they were stopped. The people were so angry. Remember, the acting president and their team had also arranged the food for the delegates, which they later on cancelled. Then they directed the Zupco buses to dump the people and go back. So people were naturally angry. It was the people who started throwing water bottles and things to Madame Coupe, and she ran away outside. Whatever happened outside, I wouldn't say it was coordinated. I think it was spontaneous by whoever. It cannot be attributed to Senator Mwonzora. Unfortunately, I will defend him on that one.
Yeah. Okay, let's let it pass its water under the bridge.
Yes, correct.
Let's come to the current issue. Yes. While Mwonzora was now in power on the throne, yes, you know, information and allegations started coming up. Yes. The party funds are being misused. Yes. And as usual, the camp that supported Senator Mwonzora defended him. I'm not sure whether you did, but you were also in that camp. Tell us about the party funds. Were you happy with the way the party funds were handled from day one, in as much as you were not the party's treasurer general?
Yes. I was never happy. Like I told you earlier, I am someone who wants transparency. Yes. I'm someone who believes in teamwork and inclusive decision making. This is the message that Senator Mwonzora had preached going to the provinces. Remember, I was his biggest funder and supporter. So half the time he was in my car. At some stage, people were saying his NPF has bought him a car. That was my car, the white cruiser. Yeah. That was my motor vehicle. So half the time I was moving around with him. He was preaching inclusive decision making. So I told you earlier, when he got in, he started making individual decisions. There's no proper accounting, there's no paper trail in terms of requisitions when you are moving funds. There are departments. We have the Secretary General's office, which spends the funds in the MDC. The programs are generated in the Secretary General's office. Then the Treasury just disperses. But it may appear that the Treasury was just dispersing cash anyhow with no paper trail. And these are some of the things that we started questioning. My own money that I had lent to the senator and to the party, was not coming back. I was struggling to retrieve my money, which I had advanced them. Particularly the money that I had paid, I had advanced them to pay for the Independent Election Management Board, the IEMB that ran the EOC. They spent a week camped at the Rainbow Towers without being paid. And I had to loan the party the money. I struggled to retrieve that money back, you know. So I was naturally not happy with the way things started to degenerate. And there was an outcry from the general party membership to say the provinces are not receiving any funding to do the party programs. There is not even a bicycle has been bought. No, nothing has been bought. The toilets have no detergents. And where is the money going? You know, we don't see where the money is going. So there was an outcry, and until the National Council directed the president to do a reshuffle. And a reshuffle was done, and still, there was still no transparency, you know. There was no transparency in the way monies were being handled, you know. So I was never happy at all.
Because I understand there's also a court case, I think, to that extent. Do you think, as party members, you supported that individual who said, no, party funds are being misused, let me go to the police?
At the moment that thing happened, this is a former aide to former President Coupe. We had just come out of a Congress, which she had clearly tried to refuse to conduct, because she could sense that she was not going to win. Therefore, she was doing all she could to stop the Congress from happening. And you now had the former aides coming to make some serious allegations. Like one of them was saying he left his $6,000 in the office of the president, right by the couch. You know, those were serious allegations, but they were not making sense. So the feeling at the time, the general feeling, including my own feeling, was that these guys were just trying to cause trouble in the institution. We needed stability. So we were advising that the president engage with the vice president, Coupe, then, so that there could be peace within the organization. Therefore, the first court application by there was Kaliati, then there was Mashumba. We did not support it. I did not support it at that particular time, because my feeling was that they were being a bit unfair. They were just trying to score some political. They were trying to make some political points. Okay. Otherwise, we didn't treat them as people who were making correct allegations, because it later on turned out to be true. They had some points. They were very correct in a way, but their timing was wrong, and people felt that they were just being mischievous. Okay. Yes.
Let's come to the March 26 by-election. Yes. The party lost, you know. Dismal. Okay, maybe to summarize it, yes. It was a part of zeros, yes. You know. Yes. And Metu was brave enough, if I could say, to come out and open and say, we have lost because we do not have a leader who can take us to the next level. It's high time Mwonzora give the baton to someone else who can take the party forward. And also, as usual, he was supported. From the outcome of the election then, now that you are sitting there, where do you think the party went wrong to a certain extent of recalling all those members of parliament, which probably 90% of them went back in parliament, and all those that were coming from MDC alliance lost under the leadership of Senator Monzura?
Yes, Metu was very correct in hindsight. What I did not agree with Metu was his method. Metu, the whole party was in shock at the outcome. Although I expected a loss, I had worked hard. In fact, if we want to be fair, mine was the best campaign across the divide on the March 26 by-election. I put up a very spirited campaign with the branded vehicles, with the posters, with everything, with campaign messages. I think I was the only candidate who had a manifesto. The other candidates didn't have anything, and I was on the campaign trail every weekend. So Metu was correct. Everyone was shocked with the loss. We were all angry, and we blamed it on the president and his leadership style. But Metu was too emotional, and he had lobbied for a no confidence vote. Now the MDC Constitution does not allow for a no confidence vote, a motion on the president. So he was too emotional. He brought in bouncers. He wanted to beat Mr. Mwonzora at Harvest House, and it was commotion. So he acted in a irrational manner. He needed to be calm. We were all in the same boat with him. His observation that the party jacket, is represented by Senator Monzura, is what was rejected, was very precise and correct. Okay. Yes, because the party is dependent on its leader. The brand is the leader. Yes. If you go to Zanu PF, it's President Mnangagwa. Then Zanu PF, in the time of former President Mugabe, the time of former President Changirai, it was Morgan Changirai, then MDC. So when we all lost, the president is now saying, I was not on the ballot paper, therefore I didn't lost. It's you guys who were unpopular, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. But they, especially in Harare Central, they had bought beers to celebrate my win. They wanted to take glory of my win, which they did not work for. So now that we lost, suddenly it was Marara we had lost. But they forget that they were preparing to celebrate my win in Harare Central because they had predicted my win. So it is quite unfortunate. What is not needed in the MDC is the leader, the current leader. He was labeled as an UPF puppet and agent. And he has never refuted it. He has never done anything to say, I'm not a ZANU-PF puppet. This is the problem with Senator Monzora, because the people out there know who the author of their problems are. It's ZANU-PF. What is the problem in saying ZANU-PF is the author of our problems? He has failed to do that, and there are political actors who have capitalized effectively on that weakness. And it's believable. People believe that Mr. Monzora is a ZANU-PF puppet because he accepts everything that ZANU-PF wants. He's giving ZANU-PF everything that he wants in Parliament, owing to the majority that the MDC enjoys at the present moment, or the number of MPs that we have. So this is where his problem is. And until, even if he tries to now say ZANU-PF is not good, no one is going to listen to him. You know, he has gotten to a point where if he wants to say Jesus is the Son of God, before he finishes the sentence, people will say, don't lie, Jesus is the Son of God. He wants to say the same thing, but people will say, don't lie, don't try to blackmail God's Son, you know. But when someone else says something nonsensical, people will celebrate because people believe in their brand. This is the challenge that we have had in the MDC. So the MDC is going nowhere with Mwonzora as the president.
Okay, so before we go to the next chapter, so what happened to the beer that you bought to celebrate? Did you celebrate a loss?
Me. I thought that they had bought beer to celebrate my win in Harare Central. So it was Vana Monzora and Vana the Mpariwas, the Secretary General of my Mpario. They bought alcohol to celebrate my win. They were going to throw a party to say we have beaten the Triple C. Yeah. And when we lost, suddenly it was Marara we had lost. But they had already bought beer to celebrate my win.
Obvious. So obviously it had no effect. The issue was to drink, whether discussing the win or the loss. The end result is they drank the beer.
The beer disappeared, which suggests that you know they were in shock. They were obviously in shock. Yeah.
Okay. So let's come to the tag where Mwonzora is labeled, you know, as a ZANU-PF puppet, and as you've said, he's never publicly refuted that. What are the attributes that you think the people or the court of public opinion might be correct to say Mwonzora is a ZANU-PF puppet?
Yes, the examples are just too many. He supported the extension of the Supreme Court Chief Justice term, Wamalaba. The people, the court of public opinion doesn't like the current Chief Justice based on the judgment that came out of the 2018 disputed election they felt that the Chief Justice had played a part. That's a feeling in the streets, on the streets, if you ask any common man. So anyone who is seen to be supporting that is supporting the perpetual suffering of the Zimbabwean people. And they will naturally won't like you. Yes. The feeling on the street is that the popular or the people, the popular organization that is representing the true wishes of the people of Zimbabwe in opposing Zanu PF is Nelson Chamisa. This is what people say on the streets. And if you go against him, fighting against him, every time you are holding a microphone, you are attacking Chamisa and not Zanu PF, you have a problem. On the 13th of March, before the by-election, 2 weeks before the by-election, we had our star rally in Highfield at Zimbabwe grounds.
I was there.
You were there.
Yes.
You saw Mr. Mwonzora attacking Chamisa to say, you move around with the Bonam Gabe. I move with the Changrai's son, who is here, Vincent Changrai. That was unwarranted. If you're an opposition member, you need to complement with other opposition forces, not to be fighting them. And you are silent about Zanu PF, which is seen to be the author, or which is the author of our suffering in this country. So the moment you attack a fellow opposition member at the expense of the people who are authoring our suffering, then you have a problem with the people. So Dagi Mwonzora is seen to be perpetuating the continued holding of the office, or the continued holding of power in Zimbabwe by Zanu PF. He's aiding and abetting Zanu PF to remain in power. So that is a serious problem with the people who are suffering every day, who can't access their money in the banks, who can't access better health facilities, who are failing to send children to school because of Zanu PF misrule. And you are endorsing everything that Zanu PF is doing.
Yes. From the general leadership, the National Council and structures within MDC, we have seen also, Zanu PF and the government extending some invitations to some other functions, whether national or at a party level, is it to the MDCT or to party president? How is that received and endorsed? Do the National Council say, yes, you can go and attend this, or the party president was receiving and take it as an individual thing, but representing the opposition MDC?
I think on most occasions, when I was still within his circle, on most occasions, he would actually solicit for trips to attend the national events. This is something that I know.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
Yes, because it then comes with remember, he's a senator from Nyanga.
Yeah.
Although he stays in Mount Pleasant, he's a senator from Nyanga, so from Manicaland. So when he's getting fuel to attend a party or government business, say in Bulawayo, he's getting fuel from Nyanga to Bulawayo and back to Nyanga, not from Marara.
Oh, okay.
So there's more fuel. Then now, like for example, now that he is leader of the opposition, if you are being invited by government, you don't go by yourself, you go as a delegation. And your guess is as good as mine as to what happens to the other benefits due to the other team members.
Yeah.
Because they all don't go there.
Yeah.
They all don't attend. But you are given fuel for a delegation, you can go by yourself and your security aides, and you leave everyone behind. These are things that I have seen happening. Yeah. So some of the picture actually is there is that appetite for resources, for the fuel, for the hotel accommodation, for the money and stuff. Yes. So half the time the National Council is told that because we want to have dialogue with them, therefore we must be seen attending these events. And also the other thing is that it's full of yes men and women. They just say for everything that is said. They don't question decisions. They just clap hands.
To some senior party officials, MDC also became a no-go area. Violence within the party, it's documented. and I would also want to speak on behalf of my colleagues, journalists. To some of them, they could not even enter Harvest House during the time that you're also close to Senator Mwonzora's leadership. Is this thing organized? You know, we also saw Mashumba being attacked, addressing, you know, a press conference right in the eyes of the world.
And stuff.
Yeah. Is this thing organized? Is there a part, you know, we used to have to hear about the vanguard, you know. Is this thing organized where people sit and say, this person should not do A, B, C, D. If he or she tries to do it, we should stop that person violently. What is...
I don't think it's it would be very wrong to say it's a coordinated thing from the party.
Okay.
There's no policy or position. But you have renegades or rogue leaders like mfano wangu Yvonne Msarurwa. Remember she was once convicted akazobuda mjeri nenyaya kunzi vakaponda mupurisa. And there she was publicly attacking a defenseless man because he's just airing his view, his sentiment, you know. Just like we're having this interview and someone will just barge in and start beating up people.
Yeah.
That it would be wrong to say it's a party position, but we obviously have individual leaders who do that. For example, on the Sham Congress, which I believe you are going to ask questions about, the Sham December Congress that they had, a security aide to Monzura, one Marino. Well, I have audios of him phoning me, threatening me to say, if you come here, we are going to chop off your head. This is Monzora's security. And this guy cannot afford 5 minutes airtime. But there he was. It was not just me. There's another guy from Gokwe, Vakai, Edward Vakai. He was threatened. He's got the evidence. And many more. So you can see this guy cannot afford to buy airtime of his own worth more than $1. But there he is, he has got unlimited airtime making threats to people. Where is he getting the money to buy airtime? It's obviously he is being sent by some able-bodied leaders, some top leaders to say, go for this. But it's not institutionalized. To correctly answer you, it's not institutionalized, but we have rogue individuals within the organization who believe in the use of violence. Yes.
So, Mr. Marara,
yes.
Where do you think the party funds are going? Your party is receiving a chunk from the Political Finance Act. And most of the time, some of the programs are not happening because the party members are told there is no money.
Yes.
Where is the party funds going?
The party president, who is, by the way, a signatory, must be answerable. Because the one thing that's very clear as we speak right now, the workers at Harvest House are up in arms. They are not happy. They don't get a fixed salary. They get money once there is a government grant. But the highest paid that I had was equivalent of $700. They last got paid early last year. The current payments that they got was equivalent, the highest paid was equivalent of $700. This is the guy who has spent the whole year coming to work. Those guys are dedicated, and I salute them. They are very hardworking, they are dedicated, they want their party, and they respect their leadership. But how do you, as president, go and sleep at your house, running or purporting to be leading a labor-backed organization, to be paying the equivalent of $700 after a one good year, when the party has received so much money? It's just a shame that we have at least leaders who do not believe in paying the workers when they are leading a party that is born out of a labor background. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's pack that one. As you've said, Mwonzora is answerable.
He must
and
answer. He's a signatory, and he must answer. In fact, just to preempt, I'm told no audited accounts were presented at the Sham Congress. the Congress, the ordinary Congress, one of the key businesses of an ordinary Congress is to present audited financial statements by the party, department responsible. There was nothing of the sort, because there are no books to talk about, there are no records. Money is just used willy-nilly with no track record, with no paper trail. You see, there's no paper trail as to what happens with the money at the MDC. And the president is the ultimate authority, he must be answerable.
And as we go towards the just ended sham Congress, as you would want to describe it, we saw you taking the party to court. Why?
There was a concerted effort to first fire me from the party, because after the by-elections, the people were all clear, Yvonne Msarura included, that Dagi had to go as president.
Sure.
He had failed to run the party.
Yvonne of all the people?
Yes. Remember, we were a team. She was the very first person, and if you can ask Wame too, he can collaborate this. Yvonne was the very first person to say after our loss, because she was always supporting my campaign in Harare Central. She would bring my car. If she's not around, she would give me a parliamentary vehicle to use in my campaign. She actually gave me money to pay polling agents in Harare Central. She actually got sick. Her blood pressure shot when I lost. And so she was the very person to say, no, guys, Dagi has failed, he must go. But then she turned around and started supporting Dagi. But everyone was agreed that we were going nowhere with Dagi in his entire top leadership, because it had become so discredited. We needed new blood. And then there was talk of going to Congress. And Dagi, his spokesman Damba and others started writing nameless articles attacking me, to say Marara this, Marara that. And then I suddenly found my name on the list of possible candidates. This is how I became. And add that to the fact that Mr. Mwonzora himself was now shutting me out of every other place that I wanted. I had told him that I want to be your treasury, and he said, I'm going, if I make changes, he said, I've been directed by the National Council to reshuffle the department, the finance department. You are the next treasury. The next thing I saw, Honorable Senator Mavetera is the new finance chief, and suddenly I was a two person who was fighting the president and who also had presidential ambitions. At that stage, I didn't have them. But because all avenues had been shut, all positions that I wanted had been shut, I said, okay, fine, I would contest for treasury at Congress, not president. And then they came up with a narrative to say treasury is a presidential appointment. So there's not going to be, no treasury is going to be voted for at Congress. Okay. So it means I had nowhere else to go. That's why I said, why can't I go for the presidency? And the records are there. The reason why Mr. Mwonzora had to run away from the nominations, the traditional nominations, to the bogus National Council, which was full of drunkards from Epworth and Chitungwiza, was because he knew he could not stand with me even today. If he wants, he must call for a nomination process that is conducted as per this red book, which is by secret ballot. I'll still beat him. He is not supporting the MDC. Okay. Yes, I'll still beat him. So he ran away from doing the right thing, and he conducted a bogus National Council, which was not, whose agenda was not even given to us. The idea of nominations was announced on the very day inside the meeting, to say the standing committee has recommended that we have a National Council, a nomination today, and it was taken to the National Executive, and the National Executive took it to the National Council. This is why I walked out of the National Council, because it was bogus. Okay. And this is why I took the party to court, because they deflated the rules. The people, if you have had the chance to read my court application, I've highlighted the bogus people who were in that in those meetings. Therefore, those meetings should be deemed null and void because they are illegal councillors.
And after the Congress, we saw you being expelled.
Suspended.
Suspended.
Reportedly suspended.
Yeah, by the party president.
Yes.
What's your feeling about that?
I want to make this clear. Thank you very much, Mkoma Robert. Mr. Mwonzora is not the MDC president. Yes, I don't recognize him. The process is leading to him declaring himself president. Just not the right processes and procedures. And this is why I have a case in the court. The way the actual Congress, which is claiming to be a Congress, was conducted is not as per the rules. Therefore, I don't regard him as a president. Mind you, right now, we don't have a women assembly. Okay. Yes, there couldn't be elections for women assembly because there was physical violence by people connected to Mr. Mwonzora. And he entertained them. They actually bought drunkards beer to disrupt the voting of the women assembly on Congress Day. The youth vote was not concluded. Right now, he has not even appointed his cabinet because there is total chaos. People are quiet, even in the WhatsApp groups of the party. There is total chaos. People are just not happy. This thing is going nowhere. It's not moving. So I don't regard Mr. Mwonzora as the president of the MDC. There's actually a constitutional crisis in the MDC. There's no president and the top leadership.
So, but why do you think there are certain individuals who support Mwonzora's type of leadership without following the constitution? Because we would say the people that followed Senator Mwonzora then are the people that believed in the party constitution soon after the Supreme Court ruling. But from what you have seen or what is happening now, he is shredding the party constitution to do things as an individual person from what you are saying. Why then there's a...
He is opposed in the past.
In the past. Yes. Why then there's a clique of people that support Mwonzora?
If you take people like Yvonne Sarurwa, for example, from jail, she's now a chairperson of the... youth chair, yes, in the party. Yeah. But she's now a member of parliament. She's now a chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Climate and Environment. She probably had not been on the plane her entire life, but I hear she was in Canada. She's always in Germany. There are serious benefits. Yeah. So the people moving with the Dagi are there for the money, for the government grant. I think he is paying people to buy loyalty. This is where I think the money is going. These are people who have been lied to that there's going to be a GNU, therefore you are going to be ministers. I was told you're going to be a minister, and I told him this is nonsense.
You're going to be a minister of what?
I don't know. He said, Chief, there is going to be a GNU, you are going to be a cabinet minister.
When you're discussing this matter, will you guys be sober? You know, like,
I'm always, even if I drink, I do drink.
Yeah, you do drink, but I'm just saying, you are Senator Monzura, I am Marara. Yes. When you're discussing and you are telling me that you are going to be a minister.
I doubt his soberness. Oh. I doubt his soberness because that no sane person will say that.
Yeah.
I never believed it. Yeah. I never believed it. I rubbished it because, but this is the lie that people are being told in the MDC to say there's not going to be an election. There's going to be automatic replacements in parliament and in council. So you are going to be a councillor, you are going to be a minister. And I said, no, look, it's nonsense. I will not accept that.
There are party members who believe that.
Yes, there are people who believe that. But remember, you are getting a position on a platter, a position in the party to say you are now the organizing secretary of the party. You are now the chairperson of the organization. So there's prestige in being a senior member of any political organization or any organization, be it even a burial society. There's prestige in just being a respectable senior member of any organization.
But don't you think...
It comes with the benefits as well, monetary benefits, you know. So people are, the majority of the people are in it for the benefits.
But don't you think Senator Mwonzora might be right, since, you know, that tag and that is being labeled as ZANU-PF tag, and also that he does not publicly sometimes oppose ZANU-PF. So he might be in the know that the GNU is coming and you guys are going to be ministers.
No, that's fair enough. If he believes or if he has knowledge that there's going to be a GNU, then that's fair enough. But I'm not into this fight for personal aggrandizement or for personal benefits. I do better in my own world as a business person. So I did not join politics to get benefits out of it. The benefits that you get, they should come naturally because of the position you are holding. To say if you are a cabinet minister, you are entitled to a motor vehicle, you are entitled to security and stuff. Those are natural benefits, not to get into politics, to looking for money and farms and the Mercedes-Benz. I have driven so many Macs, I've driven so many Land Cruisers. If I want to fly, I can afford to fly, you know. So I don't need to be a member of the MDC so that I can be on the plane like some of the people that we know. So this is where people will have a problem with the voting public, with the suffering masses, where you instead of fighting for them, you are fighting for your own stomach, you know, for your own benefit, so that you can be sleeping in the hotels and enjoying the benefits that come with the positions.
So why do you think Senator Mwonzora, as the party president, would want to support a GNU? Are his chances of winning the presidential election slim?
One thing, thank you, Mkoma Robert. One thing that people must understand or know about Dag is he's not a very dull person. He's very sharp. So he knows very well, clearly, that he has no support, he's not going to win anything. He knows. But remember, he is the leader of the opposition. He is entitled to a 200 series Land Cruiser. He already got delivery of his Mercedes-Benz. He already got delivery of his farm. These are benefits that are accruing to him. As president, they just received, as a party, they received $500 million RTGS, which is almost close to $500,000 US dollars using the parallel market rate. Then he is a senator. There's a lot of benefits that are accruing to him by virtue of holding that position as president. This is why he had to do all it takes. It was never about the people. He knows that he is not going to win. Remember, he has been preaching the 66.67%. Yes. He's all over the show saying, I'm going to win. I'm going to beat Mnangagwa by 66.7 and Chamisa. But of late, he is now saying, let's have dialogue. There are no reforms. Were there reforms when you were saying that? He knows he has got zero support. He's not going to win anything. If that man gets 2,000 to 5,000 votes in the national election, you have pulled a serious one.
As a politician,
yes.
In your opinion,
yes.
Let's put President Mnangagwa aside and his party. Let's say only the opposition parties are going to an election, minus Zanu PF. Whom do you think can win among the opposition political parties?
It's not rocket. It doesn't need rocket science, my brother, to know that if you go onto any street right now to conduct a survey, the people believe Chamisa is the man. I have areas where I disagree with him, but I'm a very realistic person. Yeah. So I cannot have difference with Chamisa to the extent of saying he's going to lose against anyone on the political market. Yeah. I actually think if we are going to have a free and fair election, Chamisa will emerge as the president of this country. But for other people, they will tell you that Chamisa is not going to win anything. That doesn't require a rocket science. It's very clear. People as it stands right now believe he has got what it takes to beat Zanu PF.
We have seen people that are coming from the opposition MDCT joining Zanu PF as individuals or otherwise. Why?
One good example.
Yeah.
One good example.
Matutu, Gutu, and we also recently, among others, they left. Exactly, Vanachaiba, what do they call it?
Timvias.
Timvias. They are what for ED? Returnees for ED or what?
They are calling themselves returnees for ED.
Returnees for ED. Why are they, in your own opinion, coming from MDCT to Zanu PF?
My honest assessment, rather, is that these are individuals who are career politicians, like my brother Komich, Senator Komich. They have, maybe with the exception of Gutu and Matutu, who are lawyers, the rest are career politicians. They live and breathe politics. So if you take them out of the political circles, they are no longer in parliament, or they are no longer in senior positions in the party where they will be getting the small little benefits, then their life is in tatters. Yes, they won't last any day longer. They have no business, they don't do nothing. So these are people who are trying to please Zanu PF by saying bad about the MDC. Yes, it's quite unfortunate. They're just doing it for their stomach, and it's not right.
If it doesn't go the way Senator Mwonzora wants, a GNU, if we go for elections, do you think the current crop of members of parliament and senators from the MDCT, whom do you think has a chance of coming back and also occupy a seat at the Mount Hampden Parliament?
That Parliament is not going to see anyone from the MDC, starting with the Dagi himself. They are all going to fall by the wayside. The result is very clear. The fight right now, as it were, is between President Mnangagwa and the Advocate Chamisa. Those are the only contenders in the fight. For MDC, is the end of the story if Dagi remains and he is going to file nomination papers as the president of the MDC. That is going to be the end of the story. And the beauty of it is they all know it. All the sitting councillors and MPs, they all know it. I talk to all of them. They know it. Dagi himself knows that he's not going to come back. He just wants to finish his term as leader of the opposition. Then he hopefully takes his motor vehicles and maybe some bonus from Parliament. He also takes his benefits as a senator, and he already got his farm. Those are the things that he wants. He will probably be leasing a harvest house to some churches, maybe, and collecting rent. The MDC is going nowhere under the leadership of Monzora.
So, given the chance, if you guys were going to take you back, as buddies, as allies when it used to be,
yes.
What advice? What advice can you give to Senator Douglas Togarase Mwonzora?
Apparently, the man listens to himself. He doesn't listen to anybody. When the state president made a proclamation to say we are going to have by-elections, I told him, let's not participate. We are going to lose. We didn't do anything, despite all the money that we got, the goodwill. We had all the time during COVID to put our house in order. We had the money. Yeah. But nothing was done, even during Madam Coupe's time.
Why?
I don't know. They are the leadership. They are the ones who control the funds. You don't sit in their standing committee where they make their decisions. Imagine at some stage, because I'm a member of the finance and admin, which make the budgets and recommendations to the standing committee. I was questioning how a party could have a 115% expenditure budget. You are receiving $100 and you are having a $115 a budget. Where is the $15 coming from? So this is the caliber of the people that we have had as leadership. Instead of investing money in the projects that generate more money for the party, they were using all the money in actually excess. So it's quite unfortunate. The party was ill prepared. For the by-election. I cautioned the president to say, let's not get in. And he was adamant. He said, do you know the beauty of getting into a fight? It's better to lose when you've been beaten than to run away from a fight. So we got in there, we got beaten. It was him as the president who is the brand.
Yeah.
The brand revolves on the president. So to have a president who says just because I was not on the ballot or my face was not there, therefore I didn't lose, that's just wishful thinking. The MDC is going nowhere under the leadership of Mwonzora, and I see you want to wrap up.
Yeah.
I do not recognize Mwonzora as the president of the MDC. I've taken him to court. He has purportedly suspended me and 7 others. There's a lot of victimization at the party. Anyone who is associated with Marara is being chucked out. People were stopped from entering his sham of a congress owing to them standing next to me. So anyone who has spoken to me or anyone who has eaten Marara's money, he must be chased away from the party because he's fighting the president. And you wonder what kind of constitutionalism that is, where you find the president declaring that we are going for a congress, all positions are open for contest, you are being contested, then you say people are fighting the president, therefore they must be thrown out of the party. Mwonzora is an illegal president who has no power to suspend me and the others or anyone within the MDC. He is free to take any measures necessary. If he wants, he can go to court. I will be ready to meet him in court. In fact, when I took the decision to put my name as the applicant in the High Court case 8183 of 22 before the High Court right now, I did not use a proxy like he did with Mashavira. Mashavira was Mwonzora. Murimoga, who was fighting President Changirai, was Mwonzora. You know, I put my name. I was brave enough to say, as Marara, I'm going to challenge you in court because what you have done is wrong. So I knew that he would say, I have suspended you or I have fired you from the party. I was not dumb. I knew what I was doing.
So, Mr. Marara, so from what you are saying, that the likes of Mashavira were the proxies of Mwonzora.
Those were tortoises on a lamppost.
Yeah. So this tortoise, can we say Mwonzora is outmate? You know, he wanted that post to lead MDC at whatever cost.
Yes, that is very correct. That is very correct. This is why he started fighting President Changirai using Patson Murimoga, and that it failed politically, because at the end of the day, this is a political, not a legal game.
Yeah.
And my brother Mwonzora seems to enjoy the legal side of things. He forgets that he is in a political game, or he pretends not to know, because his goal is not to get the political side of things getting fixed. He is in it for the benefits. Therefore, he doesn't worry about what happens to the people.
So we have seen you as one person wanted to contest.
Yes.
Mwonzora also
And
Komich. The two of you, Mwonzora and Marara, have purportedly been suspended. Where does this leave Komich?
Komich is negotiating to be a third vice president. Komich was intending to be, he actually was a presidential candidate. He wanted to be president.
Yes.
And his campaign was that as chairman, he was going to ensure that on Congress Day, he was going to stop the proceedings because the procedures had been flouted. But people were shocked. Those who don't know Komich were surprised to see Komich in less than 30 minutes of the people gathering, declaring Monzura the president, without even opening the floor for nominations, because the standard rule, what is in the Constitution, is that after all the nominations and processes leading to the Congress have been conducted, on the actual day when the chairman, who is the national chairman, is the one who chairs Congress, what he first does is, when he makes his opening remarks, he will open the floor to nominations to say, we have a president we have Mr. Mwonzora, who is said to have been unanimously nominated. Is there anyone who wants to be president in the floor, or anyone who wants to nominate someone else? Then he opens the floor to nominations. That is the proper procedure for conducting a Congress. It didn't happen. So Komich was very quick, in less than 30 minutes, to declare Mwonzora president, because he had realized that he had lost his thing, and now he was fighting to be third vice president. So I don't be surprised to see Komich coming back as the third vice president, but this is the Komich who has been fighting Mwonzora, who continues to fight Mwonzora today. The only person who is genuine is Senator Mwonzora, who on the day of the sham National Council, the fake National Council, he went to Monzora's office and confronted him to say, this is not proper, you are flouting the rules here. Okay. Therefore, I won't be part of it. This is why he said, I'm not going to participate in any position, and I'm not coming to your Congress. He didn't go, I didn't go, Vincent Changra didn't go. We all disagree, we disagreed and continue to disagree with the processes that have been done, leading to where we are today. You know,
Mr. Marara, yes. Do you feel betrayed by Senator Douglas Togarase Mwonzora?
Of course, you feel betrayed because this is a guy that I met. He had no motor vehicle of his own. He was using a Mark III, a Mark X, a black Mark X, which he had just gotten into an accident. So he didn't have reliable transport. He had no money. So I came on board, provided him with the proper transport that was reliable. We poured in our resources to ensure that he wins the fight, and we literally made him. And as soon as he is there, he's doing everything to fight you. So there's this sense of betrayal, but this is politics, mind you. It happens. I never was under any illusion to think that he would not behave the way he has done, because this is the guy that I have known him from before. He has a history of doing those things. So he has a history of betraying comrades. He has a history of cheating. Therefore, it doesn't come as a surprise. I'm at peace with it. I have no problems with it. I'm fighting it legally in court. I will also fight it politically.
As we conclude, do you think the National Council executive members understand the MDC Constitution? Because with the level of quietness, when it is being chopped, is something else.
They do, but you need to understand that because of the fear, the fear of what may happen to you. Some of us, like myself, I'm not afraid. I still go to Harvest House, by the way. Okay. It has never happened, even during Chamisa's time. People used to fear going to Harvest House. I would say things that are not in sync with the comrades there, but I would still go there and relate well with the boys. I have no problem with those boys. They are very fine young men at Harvest House. I have no fight with them. They actually understand me. So I have no problem. I occasionally pass through there and chat with them. I have no problem with them. So, but the fear within the other members, especially on the day, there was this marambin, you know. So in every corner in the room, he had some security detail who was watching people by the eye to say, if you raise your hand, would you want to nominate? Do you want to nominate Marara? And there was this people going around to say Mararambin. But nonetheless, I got in there. I sat throughout. When the thing didn't, when I saw that it was degenerating, I told them this is rubbish, and I walked out. I walked out, and I instructed my lawyers to prepare the court case. And when it was ready, we filed the court case. So I have confidence in the case that is before the court, because it has got very strong arguments. And from the body language of those who are around him and he himself, you can see that they've got serious fear of losing the case, because the level of hate emanating from his camp, the level of animosity. You know, we need to be differing on facts, not on insults. Those guys can insult you.
Come December 2023,
yes,
where do you see the MDC as a political party?
If Mwonzora is going to be the candidate, the MDC is going to be buried. It won't get to December, because then elections will have been. I've seen elections are coming in end of July, August, the week of end of July into 1st of August. That's when we have the elections. So that's when the MDC is going to be buried forever, if Mwonzora successfully remains. But I hope that the court is going to nullify whatever he has done to date, so that we can have a proper Congress, where a proper leadership from the people, not from the drunkards who are hired from Epworth and Chitungiza. The MDC is bigger. The people are very angry. The people are writing a message, solidarity statements with the suspended 7 to say, if Dagi has suspended these 7 leaders, he must suspend everybody, because this is not the MDC that we know. There is no more free speech. Leaders are chosen by drunkards who are hired using the government funding, government grant, you know, so we can have none of it. So the people are very angry. The structures of the MDC are angry. This is a party that is a history of people who died, people who lost everything, families destroyed, some ran away into the diaspora. People lost everything defending the MDC. And to imagine that this is the MDC whose president is always at State House, drinking tea with a sitting president of Zanu PF that you must be fighting to remove from office. It's just shocking. And these are the things that make people believe that it's indeed Douglas Mwonzora is a Zanu PF puppet and an enemy of the people.
Thank you very much, Mr. Marara. I know it can take us the whole day, since Marara kuramba kupinda mpini.
Yes. And just a joke about Marara. You have seen the state president every Friday putting on his white coat and a broom, trying to clean Marara. Marara anoramba achidzoka. So Dagi for Dagi to think he can wish Marara away. It's a wishful thinking. Marara will always be coming back. Marara is here to stay. And this is the message that I want to leave. I'm here to stay. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight legally. I'm going to fight politically. And I know after this interview, they will probably say we have summarily expelled you. I expected it when I put my name on the application that is before the High Court, and did not use a proxy, because I'm fearless. I fear no one. I knew they would say, we are suspending you, we are firing you. But the court, God willing, is going to rule in my favor, and I'll be back. So I'm not worried with whatever he's gonna do. You'll be wasting time by continuing to write letters of suspension or expulsion. That will be a waste of time. I'm not worried. I'm not bothered at all, because I am standing on the right side, on the side of the people. The people want change. MDC people who suffered under Mugabe, who lost everything, he still believe in the MDC, but not in Mwonzora. He has failed the leadership test. He has failed to account for money. There are so many issues. The workers are not paid. Bills are not paid. There are so many issues that are being raised against him, and he is failing to address them. When someone questions certain things, they say you are fighting the president, you must be thrown out of the party. That is not the MDC that was founded by President Tsvangirai and the other pioneering leaders. The values of the MDC allow freedom of speech. It allows members to question their leaders in a respectful way. But when you have a leader who doesn't want to be questioned, who doesn't account for his actions, who doesn't explain where the money is going, and a leader who, when the party has been sued, uses his own law firm to milk money from the party and failing to pay the workers, any legal issues against the party, they are being handled by Mwonzora and Associates. It's a way of siphoning money out of the party. So he's stealing money from the party using his law firm. You know, this is corruption. This is fraud. You know, and when people make this, want to know what is happening, then they are thrown under the bus. Of course, he has the support of a few hangers on who are benefiting from the crumbs of the government grant and the other small little benefits that they get. But the truth of the matter is that I'm on the right side of history. I believe Zanu PF must go. Zanu PF has failed to run this country, and therefore we need better leadership in this country. And Mwonzora is aiding Zanu PF to continue to make us suffer. And this is why they believe he's a ZANU-PF agent and a ZANU-PF proxy.
There you heard it. MDC party members, MDC leadership, Senator Douglas Trogarase Mwonzora, Senator Morgan Komich, Senator Engineer Mudzuri, Senator Yvonne Musarurwa, Honorable Vincent Trangerai. This is your platform. If you feel your voice needs to be heard, give us a call. We are ready to give you the platform. We are ready to give you the platform, the right to reply. As Janzi Marara anoramba achidzoka. There is the challenge. Marara anoramba achidzoka here kana kuti uyai mumise mu dustbin live here on Sly Media. My name is Robert Abmane. Join us in the next program. For now, bye-bye.